Hey folks, Brant Fowler here, letterer of Spy6Teen, and now the flatter for Lisa, our colorist, as well. This is the first page I flatted, which you might see in the show notes. You see the flatted version, see how it's changed. But anyway, we're talking about lettering here, and wanted to show you a couple things. I keep forgetting to record some of the cool stuff that I letter, so I'm going to attempt to recreate a couple of things. One from this week's page and one from last week's. Now you see this cover here for the book, the effect of gamma rays on man in the moon marigolds. So it was kind of a workaround. This was done in a combination of Photoshop and Illustrator. Basically, I have it locked on the artwork layer. You can see here, and as you can see, it's clipped around here. So what I did for this process was I went and found a. Actually, first I looked up the name of the book and tried to find some images of that to see if there was anything that I could copy, get it something close, whatever. So I looked at all these different covers. I looked at this one and various other ones, this one and stuff. And I realized that these were a little bit complex for what we were doing. So I decided to find a picture of a marigold, and I copied that image. I brought it into Illustrator here, and I'll zoom out a little bit. And what I did was I went up here to Object Live Trace, and I did a live trace, and then I converted it to live paint. So as you can see, it traced the image and then made it to where I could fill it with a color. So I chose yellow, and I went over here to this tool, which is a live paint bucket, and I basically started filling all these areas in with yellow. And I'm not going to do them all this time. I'll save some of the tiny ones. I'll leave those. And then I grabbed the color of the book here that Lisa colored and made that the black so that it matched the background. And again, I filled all these black spots and white spots in, but I won't do that for this demonstration. So what I did then, it didn't quite work for me. So I was like, what else can I do? So I took this image, I copied it, and I went over to Photoshop, created a new file, erased the background, and pasted this in. So then what I did with this color selected, the yellow, I selected color range. Actually, I didn't quite do it that time. Let me try it again. Select the yellow, select color range. There we go. And then I started playing around with filters and everything, and I think at first I did film grain. Actually, I think I played around and I looked at different things. See if I can zoom out here so you can see it a little bit better. And I was trying different filters to see if I could find an effect, and I was like, well, that looks kind of interesting, but it's not exactly what I was going for. So I went down here to the brush strokes, and I believe it was, actually that wasn't brush strokes, it was well, where was it? I have no idea where it was. Oh, maybe it was up here. Dry brush. It's not doing what it did before. That's odd. Okay, this is a little embarrassing. I can't remember which filter I used. I could have swore I used film grain and then followed it up with the dry brush, but maybe not. That's odd. Maybe it was sponge. Anyway, the point being that I brought it into here and I applied a filter, and then I saved this as a PNG file so it wouldn't have the background. Then I brought it back into Illustrator, and I'll just zoom into here now. And as you can see, the effect turned out a lot nicer with this version here. So what I did then is I had this image, so I traced around this book here, and I took that shape and put it over this and did what's called an envelope distort. Make the top object so that it shapes this image to the shape of the book here. Then of course I placed the book there. And then I traced around the areas that I wanted to be visible. So in other words, I traced around this so this image would only be visible inside this area that it's supposed to. And then of course I made the clipping mask and did it like that. And I cut it across here as well so that I can make room for the title. And that's pretty much it. That's all she wrote. It's sounded a lot more complex than it was. I wish I could remember the filter that I used on this, but it's, you know, it's a cool little process, and you know, we're all pretty happy with the results. So that's that. And now for the for last week's page, which is the infamous I am chat page. And let's see, it was this one. Now, when people first saw this, they assumed that these were copy and paste, but I assure you they are not. What I did was I looked up some chat windows, and of course I've used AIM for years. I looked up some chat windows and I did copy and paste them in here to get an idea of things, and you'll see these ideas that I kind of copied the idea for. But the actual boxes, and I'll just show you one. I'll bring this over here, is created from scratch. I think I'll zoom in for you. As you can see, I can take all the elements apart piece by piece. So what I did was using this picture that I got as a base, which was this one right here. Using that as a base, and let's move that one out of the way for now so we can put this here. I created a box just like this, and I decided which color I wanted to go. I wanted to go with black, so I created a gradient with a number of grays and blacks here, and I applied that gradient, and then I put it at 90 degrees so it would be going up and down, and that was my base box. So then I just kind of started piecing this together piece by piece. Now you'll notice the rounded corners around these boxes, so what I did then was I drew another box inside as the white base box here, filled that with white, and then I went up here and stylize round corners, and I think I did like 2. So it's just a barely rounded corner, and you can see how it's rounded there. And you know, then from there I just kept drawing boxes to get the desired effect and giving them the rounded corner. Actually, let's move that back up there. Let's show that, bring that to the front. You know, just to get the desired effect. You know, I'm just doing a really rough version here just to show you. But I drew a box on top of that one to get the segmented breaks, and also to bring this text window slightly below. And I added a drop shadow to it as well. Of course, the text, I did the little plus sign. You can't see it there, but I drew that by basically just drawing a line, then copy and paste it in front of it, and doing like that. Then adding them together, turning it white. Same thing for the X, the box and stuff, pretty much the same. The fun stuff was, for one, the smiley face, which is also not a copy and paste, as you can see. I'll zoom in on that. Nor is the cell phone. And of course the A, that's an easy one, but I drew a circle, did 2 more circles, and a curved line to do the smiley face there. And with the cell phone, which is also various components, as you can see. What I did was actually went to our sample window here. You can see they're pretty close. I traced around this to get the basic shape, and then again I just drew elements on top of it until I was happy with it, added a gradient around it, and voila, you get your aim-like, well, they're missing eyes, some of those, you get your aim-like text box, or chat box, and that's that. So thanks for watching. Anytime I have some cool stuff to show you, lettering wise for Spy6Teen, I'll do my best to try to remember and record it so you can see it. Just one more thing, I actually drew this hand from scratch as well. As you can see, it looks a lot different when you do it like that, but yeah, so that's that. Thanks for watching.